What do you want to be when you grow up?
Britain is too fat.
Bacon is delicious, but you cannot eat it for breakfast every day because it is just fat and it's bad. So you get up, you have some Raisin Bran and fruit. Healthy start to a great day. Wrong. All of a sudden, Raisin Bran does not qualify as healthy.
The taste that you like, light up a lucky strike, relax. It's light up time.
What if your breakfast cereal was more dangerous than cigarettes? It sounds absurd, but the reality is far more sinister than you think.
McClap, rap, tap, slap, but snap makes the world go round.
Laden with sugar, artificial flavours and chemical additives, many popular cereals are highly processed products designed to addict you from the very first spoonful. They spike your blood sugar, alter your brain chemistry and contribute to a range of chronic diseases, all while masquerading as the healthy option.
Big news, America! Back for a limited time, we've changed the shape of Honey Nut Cheerios because we want people to know that they're delicious and can help lower cholesterol. Heart healthy, get it? A heart?
The food industry's dirty secret? These ultra-processed foods might be as insidious to your health as smoking, slowly wreaking havoc on your body with every bite. But what exactly makes these seemingly innocent cereals so dangerous?
Plaintiff says he ate one company's cereals for breakfast for years and believed he was making a healthy choice, but he says he recently learned some of those cereals contain enough sugar to put him at risk for things like diabetes, obesity, liver disease, and more.
Cereal tends to be marketed to their whole family, relying on vibrant colours and playful designs to entice both children and adults. But your favourite brands aren't just designed to be visually appealing, they're designed to make breakfast a fun experience you just can't get enough of.
Is a very good part of this nutritious breakfast. Strawberry shortcake, I'd be glad to help. Put away more of your cereal.
It's strawberry shortcake cereal.
It's very delicious.
But before you get so dazzled by those cheerful colours, there's a darker side to the story. The vibrant hues in your cereal are intricately crafted with artificial dyes such as red 40 and yellow 5.
Every year, 15 million pounds of artificial food dye is put into food, and a lot of those foods are marketed towards kids.
Now, what's so bad about that, you say?
Dyes are they're linked to behavior problems in kids, ADHD, even autism, and I used to think food dye, that's just food dye. It's not good, it's not bad, but I've really seen a big link with diseases in my kids, my patients, allergies, other inflammatory diseases, behavior problems. It's a big problem. Well,
studies have shown that these artificial colours are not as great as they seem. In laboratory experiments, they've been linked to cancer risks in animals. And if it isn't alarming enough, the International Agency of Research on Cancer has classified some of these dyes as potentially carcinogenic. This classification means that while the evidence isn't yet conclusive in humans, the possibility that these dyes could contribute to cancer risk is something scientists take very seriously.
Look, fellas, I'm free. Now let me at those post alphabets. They're going to save us. How? I'll send Mighty Mouse a message made from alphabets that spells help. Hooray for alphabets!
If I came up to you and offered you a big bowl of potentially carcinogenic butylated hydroxyacetylene, would you eagerly accept it? Would you serve it to your children with a big smile? Now what if I brought a bright, eye-catching sticker on the box reading, Cheerios? It might sound outrageous, but that is essentially what you're doing each time you dish your family up a big bowl of these seemingly innocent breakfasts. These corporations are stealthily packing in harmful chemicals and hiding the risk under regular consumers such as you and I, while promising all the health benefits under the sun. But let's dive into the evidence behind these claims. Butylated hydroxytoluene is a common preservative used in many cereals to keep them fresh and extend shelf life. The National Institute for Environmental Health Sciences highlights that BHT has shown potential cause to cancer in laboratory animals. Now, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I'm on one long rant away from appearing on an episode of Joe Rogan, but am I that far off if the European Union and the UK government are even sceptical of the use of BHT? On April the 1st, 2024, the UK took a bold step to protect consumer health by banning BHT in cosmetics. The new regulations, part of the Cosmetic Products Regulations 2024, were enacted due to concerns about BHT's potential long-term effects on skin health and its absorption through the mucous membranes. For cosmetics, BHT is now restricted to very low concentrations, up to 0.1% in toothpaste, 0.001% in mouthwash, and even stricter limits for other leave-on products. This precautionary measure highlights the seriousness in which authorities view the potential risks of BHT. Given these stringent regulations for cosmetics, one might wonder if BHT is considered too risky for our own skin. Why is it still permitted in our food?
No, this simple box of Kellogg's Rice Krispies would be illegal to sell in most foreign countries because it doesn't meet food safety regulations. These companies use a very controversial additive called BHT to improve shelf life and increase profits. BHT is not proven safe.
While the concentrations found in cereals are considered low and deemed safe by regulatory agencies, the health implications of long-term consumption of BHT, particularly in processed foods like cereal, remain a topic of ongoing research and debate. But is that a chance that you're willing to take? If the thought of potentially harmful chemicals in your breakfast cereal makes you uneasy, it's time to consider the other alternatives.
I am baffled by this carnivore diet.
This is the first time in human history where there are more overweight people walking the planet than underweight people.
Feed the city with fucking proper stuff. And no, you got one fucking thing to do. Put the right stuff in here.
But wait, aren't even whole foods such as eggs and bacon bad for us? What are we meant to eat? Somehow, we've entered an era where natural food sources are considered more dangerous than chemically crafted foods.
A way of telling if a food is ultra-processed is if there is any health claim on the packet, it's almost certainly ultra-processed.
The story begins with Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, the man behind the famed cereal empire. Kellogg wasn't just a health enthusiast, he was a man with radical and controversial views. He believed that food like bacon and eggs were not just unhealthy, but morally corrupt. Kellogg thought that even traditional breakfast staples could lead to sexual deviancy. Kellogg's crusade against meat and animal products was driven by his peculiar theory that these foods fueled unhealthy desires and were detrimental to moral character. To him, the consumption of bacon and eggs was a threat to societal purity. Instead, he promoted cereals and plant-based foods as the key to not just physical health, but moral righteousness. So the next time you face a choice between a brightly coloured cereal and a hearty breakfast, just remember the dark history behind the processed alternatives. Understand that you're not just making a dietary choice, but a decision shaped by decades of controversial health theories. In the wise words of Eddie Abu, wake the fuck up, guys, wake the fuck up! Now back to our clickbait-worthy statement of, what if your breakfast cereal was more dangerous than cigarettes? The parallels between breakfast cereal and big tobacco are more chilling than you might imagine.
Something wonderful happens when you change to Philip Morris. You'll feel better.
Did you say I'll feel better smoking Philip Morris?
Yes, you'll feel better.
Just as tobacco companies spent decades downplaying the risks of smoking and manipulating their products to maximise addiction, the cereal industry employs similar tactics to keep you hooked on their sugary, chemical-packed offerings. But this doesn't just stop at the ingredients. The cereal industry invests heavily in marketing strategies designed to manipulate and mislead. Bright packaging, cartoon mascots, and health claims create an illusion of innocence and well-being. Just as cigarettes were marketed as glamorous and harmless, breakfast cereals are marketed as fun and nutritious, concealing the truth about their ingredients. Both industries have been criticised for prioritising profits over consumer health, in the same way that tobacco companies suppress research on the dangers of smoking and fought regulations. Cereal manufacturers have historically downplayed the risks of artificial additives and resistive calls for clearer labelling and healthier formulations. The strategy is straightforward. Make the product addictive and appealing, and downplay any adverse effects. The primary culprits behind these manufactured addictions? Sugar. It's not just a sweetener, it's a powerful substance with the ability to hijack your brain's reward system. Imagine sugar as a master illusionist, effortlessly tricking your taste buds into craving more with every bite. When you consume sugar, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This chemical reaction creates a cycle of pleasure and desire, making it incredibly easy to overeat.
The big difference is when I eat a lot of carbs, if I go off the rails and I'll cheat and have pasta or bread or something like that, I experience more inflammation. I experience more soreness in my joints. You get more fatigue. You get like tired. You get that insulin crash. You get all those big factors that I just don't get when I eat clean.
High sugar intake is linked to obesity, which in turn increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. And it's not just the obvious sweets and sodas. Sugar hides in countless processed foods, silently sabotaging your health under the guise of convenience. It's everywhere, lurking under dozens of different names: high fructose corn syrup, maltodextrin, dextrose, cane syrup, and more. Each one cleverly disguised to slip past your radar. This constant, almost unavoidable influx of sugar isn't just bad for your waistline, it's toxic to your entire system.
Hidden sugars in things like processed food, cereal, salad dressing, and even yogurt are adding to our sugar intake. And in a recent Time magazine article, Dr. Mark Hyman says it's time to treat sugar like cigarettes.
The food industry knows that we're all waking up to the dangers of sugar as consumers become savvier, health conscious, and the government imposes measures like the UK's sugar tax. These companies have had to find a way to maintain their sweet profit margins while keeping us hooked. Their solution? A seemingly guilt-free alternative. Zero sugar drinks and foods. It's perfect, right? All the sweetness you crave, none of the sugar, and no extra tax. But here's the catch. Instead of sugar, they're loading these products with artificial sweeteners. And the question is, are we any better off?